Hi, my name is Jason Rodriguez and welcome to Investor Secrets Unlocked. What we do here on this channel is we help real estate investors learn how to invest and make profits. So today what we're gonna be talking about is how to sell houses fast, our top secrets on that. And if you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you can get these videos that we put out every single week. We put out video every week. So let's get right into it. All right, so when I think about selling houses fast, my thought and the thought of most other people, investors, realtors, kind of is a little bit different. So when I want to come and sell houses fast, the number one thing I'm thinking is, where are my hungry people at? Where are the hungry fish? So where do they get together? Where do they all come together that they would raise their hand and I would be like, hey, I got this great deal. And they're all gonna be like, oh, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. Right? If I was selling a great deal at 50 cents on the dollar, if I just went to that one place that everyone's gonna want this deal, right? So I'm thinking from that point. And if you start from there, you start to see some trends, right? So when I think about that, where am I starting? A lot of times where those investors that are hungry are gonna be at, where they're gonna be, Facebook groups, Google groups, they're gonna be on meetup groups, they're gonna be on Meetup Live, Meetup Online groups. They're also gonna be in this other place that I love is a database. Who has all these people all together? Maybe it's my database. Maybe it's another investor's database. So I'm just looking for hungry fish right in the beginning. Why? Because think about it. If I try to sell one-off and just to one person at a time, that's gonna be challenging. But if I can just go to where all the hungry investors are, show a great opportunity, show them that it's a great opportunity, I'm gonna sell my properties really fast. And that's literally what I do. So they told me earlier, so when you build a database, right? So let's talk about database. When you build that database, what is a database? Is it just a list of the like-minded or like people, right? So my database consists of, it's one big database, but I have it broken down into a few pieces. Number one is I have my cash buyers on that database. Number two is I have my retail buyers on that database. And number three is I have landlords on that database. Why do I break it down? I know that my cash buyers are gonna be quick, right? They're gonna be all quick. Cool. My retail buyers is if I buy a house and I fix it up and then I go and sell it, those people wanna pay top dollar for it. They want the retail, they wanna just buy it all pretty. And I need those people. But my landlords, why my landlords? The landlords tend to pay a lot more money. Right? They pay a lot more money. Why? Because they're not gonna sell it. When a wholesaler sells it to someone that's gonna fix it up, they have a lot of fees in selling the property. There's a realtor to sell, there's closing costs to sell, there's holding costs to sell. With a landlord, they're not selling it. So they don't have all those extra fees. And those extra fees that I just mentioned, realtor, 6%. Holding costs could be 5%. Some other fees that might be inside there. Closing costs could be another 3%. So that could be 12% of the deal. 12%, that's a big number. $300,000 house, that's $36,000. But if I sell it to the landlord's not thinking about $36,000, which means I could sell it for just a little bit more. I'm not saying I could sell it for 36 more, but maybe I could sell it for 10, maybe, and I have. So I want to segment my list and building that list. Also, when I think about that list, my buyer's list, another list that's on my buyer's list is who are other investors that have lists just like mine. When I first got started, I had a small list. I had 50, 100 people on my list. Today, I probably have about 10,000 people on my list. Now, obviously, 10,000 is not my cash. Probably my cash buyers on my list are maybe 40, 50%, something like that. So that's where I look on figuring that out. I'm gonna give you a nice tip, right? So how do I build my list? How do I build a list? One of the lists that I really like to build, and when I learned this, boom, it exploded. I was like, whoa, I'm able to use this in any single town and country any town and city in the country, which gives me freedom, which gives me confidence, right? So here's what I do. So you could go to your most local courthouses and pull up on public records and say, show me every person that has purchased a piece of property and has paid all cash. You could get a list of everyone that's purchased properties, paid all cash. And I say, when you give me that list, I want to see all the people that in the last 1 year bought at least 2 properties, or 3, or 4, or 5. Think about this. If someone went and paid cash and bought 2 properties in the same year, one is they could be a homeowner, but 2, instantly they're an investor. 3, for sure, 5, 6, 10, 20, 30, 70, 100, they are investors. Not only that, so now I know, not that these people have officially closed on a property. I could even see how much they paid. I could see what entity they put it in, because it's all public records. Now I gather that list. So if I could go to like where I live, I did this list, and I found in the last 1 year, there were like 7,000 cash buyers in one county, investors. They were all over. When I pulled up they put it on a map for me, it was like dots everywhere, of investors. But when I was trying to sell my house on Craigslist, I didn't get a lot of people to call, even though it was a good deal. I got some. So that's why I went to this strategy to go on public records and start looking for those investors. And what would happen is I took all those people, I skip traced them. I used a company to come and skip trace them. And when I skip traced them, they gave me their name, their phone number, their address, and some of them their email address. And then from there, I was calling them. I called all those investors that bought houses previously right where the house I was trying to sell. So let's just say the house I was trying to sell was on 123 Main Street. I went probably about a 10-mile radius. And I would call them up. Hi, my name is Jason Rodriguez. I got a house on 123 Main Street. I saw on public records that you recently bought a few. I knew they bought 5. I just said a few houses in the area, and I have a great deal that I think you might be interested in. Can I send you some of the information on it? Yep. And I did that one person, 2, 5, 10, 20, 30, 50. And then my secret to selling houses fast was I brought all those people that were interested to the property the same time. Think of eBay. It was an auction. I made it feel like an auction. Everyone's coming in at the same time. Saturday at 12 o'clock, from 12 to 2 is the time. And the person that that is the best qualified and can put a deposit on it will get the property. And sometimes I've had 5, 10, 20 people. The most we've ever had at one of those showings of putting everyone at the house at the same time, an open house, was, I think the highest we ever had was about 170 investors in one seating, 2 hours. Think about that. I had one house, 170 people come. And by the way, every time they came to the house, everyone had to sign to get into the property. So I made myself 170 person cash buyer database like that. Pretty cool, right? So it's a little bit of advanced, takes a little bit of extra time, but it's so much worth it. Did I sell the house? You know I sold the house. Of course, 170 of them. Look what happens. What started to happen is I had all those people in the house at the same time. It's undeniable that, wow, oh, they're looking at it. They must want 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 it. And I had a full price offers on it. In fact, it went a little bit higher than what we were asking for, and it was done. They were like, no problem, I could close it next week. And I'm like, you're my person, baby. You are for me. So that's how we sell the houses fast, is using these strategies. So back to this, when you're building this buyer's list, let's talk a little bit about that buyer's list. So when you build this buyer's list, number one, you want to communicate to them, to the list. So like those 170 people, they came. If I just kept them there and I did not, and I only called them when I had another deal, my relationship was going to be low and they may not call. So what I encourage you to do is to communicate to them. You should talk to that database at least every 2 weeks. I talk to my database 4 or 5 times a week. I give them content. I give them information. I'll tell them about deals. I give them tips to keep them engaged so that when they see something come from me, it's either I'm giving you some tips or I'm giving you a deal. So there's a reason for us to stay in communication so they don't be like, who's this Jason guy? No, they already know who I am. They know that what I do is I give tips, I help them, I give them resources, and then I sell them smoking hot deals. So communicate to them the list. And then number 2 is you can sell to the list. Number 3, the other thing on that list, let's say that 170 person buyers list, I would reach out to those people and I'll say, hey, it's Jason. I was selling a house. I was wondering if you have any houses for sale. I'm looking to come and buy some houses. And for the most part, a lot of them are take me serious. Why? Because how I reached out to them in the beginning was I showed them a deal. And then they came to a deal that was my deal. So they're saying, oh, this guy Jason had a house. Now he's looking for a house. Okay. You think those cash buyers find houses? And so that's going to be a yes. And one of the things when I reach out to them, I say, hey, hi, it's Jason. I was wondering if you have any deals. Maybe you came across a deal that wasn't a good fit for you, but you saw that there was money. Can you pass that to me? I'll give you a referral fee, or I'll pay you a few bucks for it, or something. And people will send me deals that way. Hey, what are you looking for, Jay? I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. What's my budget? And I tell them what my budget is for the house. So that's a good way. So I use them, number one, to sell me, for me to sell them houses, for them to sell me houses. I'll put here on the list right here, make them laugh. Like, create a connection. Don't be boring. Hi, my name is Jason Rodriguez from wallstreet.com. That's so corny. Who wants to talk to that person? Like it's okay if you're gonna send them an email that gives them a tip and have some character. Be a little funny. Don't have to be so businessy. And I tell you this because when I first got started, I came from FedEx. I was working at FedEx as a FedEx driver, and I was thinking the image of business was like, you got to be Mr. Big business, right? Oh, I'm Mr. Entrepreneur. It's only business. That's not who I am. So it's so incongruent. When I started to just connect to people as a normal human, find out, what are you looking for? How can I help you? How can I be of value to you? And I will send emails. Hey, question, how could I be of massive value to you today in your business? And I might put a few ideas. Do you need funding? Do you need lenders? Do you need contractors? Do you need to build your A team? Do you need paperwork? Do you need somebody to double check your deals? Like, how can I serve you? Now all of a sudden they were like, all right, cool. This guy's cool. And so now when I send those emails and build my database, they love it. And I get a lot of times that people, I would send messages to my database, and just randomly they're like, hey, I watch your videos. I got a deal for you. You keep on asking for a deal. I got one for you. And it's not the day that I asked for the deal. Or you might say, hey, look, I saw you a year ago on some emails, and then I thought about you when I went to a meetup group. Somebody sent me a deal that I saw was a good deal that they were not going to buy. They were like, it's not for me. And they passed it to me and was like, nah, I just want to give it to you. Like, all right, can I take you to dinner? Can I, what's up? So just communicate with that database. It's super important in building and being able to sell fast. This is all about selling fast. A little bit of time and energy is going to sell fast. All right. So you're always going to be building the list to be able to, and that's going to help you to sell fast. Make sure that when you build that list, right? When you build the list, it's not about size. I said, hey, I got a big database, right? 10,000 people. So it's not size. It's size versus quality. You want quality first all the time. Quality first. That's why what I taught you up front was to go find the real cash buyers that already closed on the deals. It's a done deal. But the other piece I will come and say, I guess sometimes people, they say, hey, I'm building my database. How many people you have on it? 12 people. How long you had those 12? How long has that been? Oh, it's been 6 months. 12 people is not a database. 12 people, a lot of times, is failure. And I know, shoot the messenger. You need to get a bunch of people inside there, because sometimes they're hot, they're not, they're cold. And if you wanna be able to stay in the business and be in the business for a longer time, you're gonna need more people. So just constantly work on building that buyers list. It is gonna help you when it's time to sell super fast. You'll be surprised. There've been countless times where I get a deal and I'm like, wow, this is a great deal. And I will just go right to the database. I send it out to the database. Boom, it's sold. I mean, the fastest I have ever done it is I sold a house in less than 30 minutes. I got the deal, came across my desk. We packaged it real quick. We sent it out to the database. One of the top guys that I know in the database that buys houses called me. He says, I know that deal. I want it. I'm sending over the contract now. And I was like, bet. Done. But that was also building that relationship and building the database and connecting with them. So here's my question for you. What are some of the strategies you use to sell houses fast? I mean, lightning fast. Like lightning fast. Put it in the comments below. Let us know. Share with all of us. We all want to know, what are you doing to sell the houses fast? And try to put the fastest tips. Not the corny ones like, oh, tell your neighbors and put a flyer around. I mean, tell us the fast ones. We want the juicy ones. Share with us. Put it in the comments below. The other thing that we have for you is that we're doing, some of you, we know that you checking out the videos and you want to you want to learn a little bit. You're not quite ready to commit. But then there's another group of you that are ready to get started in real estate, and you've just been waiting. You watch some videos, you've been watching, and now you're like, nah, I want to get started. So for those people, you're just like me. I wanted somebody to help me to get started and get rocking and rolling and get profitable quick. I was working at FedEx. I wanted out of FedEx. I wanted that financial freedom. I wanted freedom. I wanted time freedom, money freedom, financial freedom. And so if that's you, we got a free training that's in the description below, and we go over exactly how to build your blueprint for real estate success. So check that out, all right? So if you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe, you ring the bell, check out the free training that's in the description. And I just wanna say thank you so much. Go out there, do deals, learn and do deals. Implement the information, go and do it. You can do it. If a FedEx trucker can make this happen and turn FedEx into millions of dollars, you could do it also. Go out there, go make it happen. My name's Jason Rodriguez. I'm out. Boom.